Hi, Tony.
Hi, Mel. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm really good. In my memory, I have a thought that we met at Sundance a couple of years back.
Okay.
Could that be true?
I think it could be. Yeah.
Well, gosh, congratulations first of all on Biosphere. It is
Thank you.
just darkly funny and wonderfully performed. Um, it has the feel of one of those very special Twilight Zones.
Mm, yeah, that's kind of what we're going for.
In working with Mark Duplass as a co-writer and
Mhm.
all, I mean, was that a joy? And how long have you known Mark?
I've known Mark for like 12 years. We've been working together for about 10, and I've been running his company for a little over 7. So we are very much like a brother sister dynamic at this point. And, at some point when he asked me to take over his company, he's like, I know your ultimate plan is to write and direct, but can you run my company? And I said, great, but we got to get me to directing at some point. And then I was the one who was doing a bad job of making the time for it. And then he finally forced me, and he would pitch me random ideas over the years. And he had pitched me this idea of like the last 2 men on Earth living in a biosphere.
Mhm.
And I think just the word biosphere and the fact that it was 2 men, I was like, oh my God, there's so much I can do there with science. And the fact that it's 2 men who are the last people on Earth, I'm going to go into some toxic masculinity and gender stuff. And so then he forced me finally, he's like, let's go away for the weekend and like hash out the outline together, and then you can go write it. So he kind of finally like locked me in a room and said, we got to do this.
Well, I'm glad you did. And working with just basically two characters, was there a lot of ad-libbing that you allowed?
I always allow space for every collaborator to make something their own, but this one specifically, because I wanted there to be a very well-researched scientific base for people to kind of buy into it and then put that away and follow the themes and the emotions. Um, there was a lot that I was like, we got to nail this, we got to say things right, and it was such a fine-tuned arc that I wanted to hit in their emotional journey that I didn't want to leave it up to chance. We were shooting it in 15 days. I've done that so many times as a producer. And then you, in post, realize you missed a bunch of stuff. So I definitely drilled down with this one in the script form more than Mark and I are used to. But Mark Duplass does not know how to not improv, which is the beauty of him because he comes up with things on the fly. So there was definitely, moments and also enough space for Sterling to make tweaks here and there too. And so they both kind of found their groove, but we really did stick to most of the script.
Yeah, and it's when you're filming in tight quarters, it can get claustrophobic. I mean, and how do you fight that as a director? How do you make each scene, every place you put your camera, that interesting?
Yeah, I mean, it really is, working with my cinematographer, Nate Miller, who we've worked together in so many films over the years and so many where it's tight quarters, indie films, only a few people. So we were already, ready for that. And even as ready as we were, there'd be moments where we're like, this feels like we're having deja vu. Let's switch things up. Let's go somewhere else. Let's change the style, the camera, all that. And then it was also my production designer, Megan Fenton, who took my drawing of how I saw the biosphere and expanded upon it and really made it feel in the way we dressed like there were separate rooms so that we could feel like we were in different locations, even though we never leave.
Yeah, I think the beauty of this film, as I said, kind of a tip of the hat to, if Rod Serling had written My Dinner with Andre, I think it would be similar to this. But you've managed to create the build so beautifully, and your actors know what they're doing. They know their characters. I mean, I'm watching a beautiful, theatrical play played out, and it is just a marvelous spellbinding film.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Sterling and Mark. They are magic. That is for sure.
Now you've produced a lot of things, and I just saw Spin Me Round, and it was just a wonderful romantic film. So to be able in your, career to jump from romance to drama to horror to thriller, it must be a joy to do what you do.
Yeah, it is, because I don't have anyone's style I like. I don't have anyone, genre. It's just across the board. I want to do everything. So it helps, especially as a producer, you can do a lot more than a director. So I get to kind of take care of all my loves.
When you direct, do you storyboard?
I do storyboard when it's an action sequence or there's a specific reason why, but not always. But I do shot list everything. And I shot list so that I can go in on the day and throw it away and pivot. But I've thought through each scene, and that's the homework. But I don't know anybody who sticks to that shot list.
Well, it really shows that you do your homework on things, because I can't watch a film if it's got so much going on that I can't follow it. And yet, the other type of film is very boring. To what you have managed to give me everything I want in a movie, and it's just so well done.
That makes me so happy.
What do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Biosphere?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that they'll take away, especially what they're coming into it with as a human. And their experiences. And I left a lot of space for the audience to project their own experiences and thoughts and feelings on it. But what I hope people walk away from is just with hopefulness. I think so much, there's like societal norms and the way society defines us as humans. And then there's a lot of people who break definitions, trying to find themselves in new and different ways. And I think that that's often scary to a lot of people, and I want to make that more of a hopeful, positive thing. And so
this was so terrifically done. And again, it's very funny too. I mean, you don't expect the humor to be as well grounded as it is.
Yeah, no, it's, again, I'm like, if people can laugh, they'll let most things in. It's a safe, unifying space, and who doesn't love laughing?
I love to laugh. And Mel, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for all the kind words. Take care.
Bye-bye.